I now have the pleasure of introducing the president of the class of 2008, Madeleine Tillotson.
Wow, it's just right. This never happens. You'll have to forgive me if I put on these heinous sunglasses. I'm going to try and go without them, but we'll see. What little exposure I've had to graduation speeches in the past in part governs what I say and don't say today. Most speakers attempt to impart wisdom garnered from years of experience. They try to predict exactly what sorts of challenges we will encounter and suggest a recipe for success. But I am in no position to do any of that. Although I can't give you advice, I can reflect on some of the experiences we've had in our 4 years together. And although I am hesitant to speculate about the future, I can assure you that the class of 2008 has been and will continue to be a success story. To begin, I would like to offer some acknowledgments. I believe that we all agree that there are certain people who deserve a thank you. First and foremost, on behalf of all of us, I would like to thank the parents who got us here. We really couldn't have done it without you. I would also like to welcome and express our gratitude to the many extended family members and friends who have traveled from near and far to spend this special day with us. But finally, we must thank the faculty who have created the CCHS experience for all of us. They have inspired us to be inquisitive and enthusiastic and have taught us to explore and to question the world we live in. Most history teachers can recount a dry and concrete version of the post-World War II era in the United States, but it takes an extraordinary one to imagine the rebellious youth culture of the 1950s. It takes an extraordinary teacher to transport us from the privileged and protected households of Concord, Massachusetts, to the embattled streets of Selma, Alabama, or the Supreme Court where civil rights were forged in this country. It takes an extraordinary teacher to find the silver lining in the Metamorphosis, Franz Kafka's most cynical work, and to make an endearing character out of the creature who is portrayed as a dying crustacean. It takes an extraordinary teacher to integrate his flight patterns as a pilot and his inventive vocabulary into a math course. And it takes an army of extraordinary teachers to have the patience to give up hours of their time before and after school to help their students gain greater understandings in subjects ranging from earth science to Latin. We are so lucky to have had teachers as unique, intelligent, and committed as those I have mentioned today. We will not forget you and everything you have taught us. But it is my conviction that today is primarily about us, who we are and what we hope to become. I believe that we have been challenged to explore and to cultivate an understanding of the human condition in a way that no other class at CC has done before. One of the most profound experiences of the class of 2008 is that of being humbled. This spring, 3.3 million American students will graduate from high school. An unprecedented number of them have applied to college, making this the most competitive year in the history of college admissions. As universities have struggled to consider just who to accept from this vast population, they have been forced more than ever to rely on sheer data and statistics when choosing applicants. As a result, for the past year and a half, we have been asked to define ourselves by GPAs, SAT scores, ACT scores, SAT2, and a laundry list of extracurriculars. This humbling and often depersonalizing experience has taught us that no matter how worthy we might be as individuals, each of us is still just one of thousands, if not millions, on a quest towards higher education. When everyone is being made to feel like a commodity, it is hard to remember that it is the substance of what we do and believe that truly matters. It is It isn't often that teenagers are as receptive to one another's differences as you have been throughout the course of your 4 years. I believe that you, with the help of so many faculty and staff, have made this a place where sexual orientation, race, and ethnicity are irrelevant in each other's eyes. You have endeavored to understand and reach out to one another through efforts like Be the Change and freshman orientation offered for the first time this year. But of equal importance, you have created venues in which people can express their beliefs without fear of rejection or bullying. Healthy discussions and debate, the cornerstone of any democratic institution, have been encouraged, and this has been a place where people have felt free to express their opinions, regardless of what those opinions were. You were instrumental in ensuring that the Red Ribbon campaign, which raised money for partners in health, was a huge success. Whether you were the person who contacted the band's manager or one of the many volunteers who collected money, tie-dyed shirts, or advertised around Concord, this was the type of cause 08 continually rallied behind. Similar efforts were repeated this year when the International Issues class took on Project Thailand. Over the years, many of you have sacrificed your own sporting events or theatrical events to take part in various charitable walks, such as the Walk for Hunger or Lou Gehrig's disease. I think one of the most telling experiences I've personally witnessed was the St. Patrick's Day luncheon, in which the class served a full course meal to over 100 senior citizens of Concord and Carlisle. 40 or so volunteers came for the day to help set up, serve, and clean up. At the end of the event, most of the volunteers simply shrugged their shoulders when offered that familiar yellow community service slip. No one was terribly concerned with documenting their volunteer hours. They had simply come to help. As they were leaving, a number of the elderly told the parents that this was the nicest group of kids they had ever met or been involved with. When the band hosted students from Japan, your efforts to make the exchange students feel welcome were overwhelming. Whether it was you driving them into Boston, saying hello in the hallways, practicing for your part in the concert at Symphony Hall, or even translating a welcome into Japanese, you played a crucial role in making them feel at home and safe. But one of the truly remarkable attributes about the class of 2008 is its ability to overcome. Many of you have lost a parent, a sibling, or a friend. Whether you struggled with a particularly challenging course load or a broken family, or suffered from some other tragedy, you kept going. Maybe it was your hat trick that kept the team in the running for the state championship, or that extra push on that final lap which got you to states. Maybe it was all those extra hours you put in with your science teachers that allowed your team to place at Science Olympiad. Or maybe it was that extra box of chocolate bars you sold to help Mr. Knopf meet the cost of sending the orchestra to Disney World. Maybe it was the vacation you gave up to stay home and finish the set design for the school play. Maybe it was the fact that some of you had to get up at 5 a.m. or earlier every morning just to come to school. On top of everything else, you made it through the interviews, the essays, the visits across the country, the gap year plans, and then that endless line we all waited in to get our caps and gowns. You not only got yourself here, but you looked out for one another along the way. This class is nothing if not intrepid, ambitious, and capable. You have all been part of humanitarian endeavors, large and small, whether rebuilding houses in New Orleans or simply sharing a kindness with a classmate. Although we are leaving, the people you have touched and inspired will never forget you, myself included. You have been the catalyst for social change here at CCHS, and you will, without a doubt, continue to be in the future. You are so much more than the data and statistics on college application forms. And it is with great pride that I congratulate the class of 2008 and wish you the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Good job, Maddie. Good job, Maddie. Congratulations. Nice job. Good job, Maddie.